Siri_bot. Siri_bot has joined Cerebro Love. Artextric is now live. Streaming art, anime art commission hashtag how to draw hashtag drawing hashtag art commission. Botrix official. Be a support hero today. By using commands like, support.
Hello. Thank you. I appreciate the follow.
Botrix. Botrix has correctly joined the channel.
Okay. Hello, for those who are here. I hope you guys are having an awesome day. For those who are here, if you like what you see, please follow. I suggest you guys follow me on TikTok, on YouTube or Twitch. Link in bio. And yes, I stream to all platforms at the same time. I don't just stream to one place. Hello. Thank you for the follow. Okay. Alright, so hello. Can you hear me? No, I'm not gonna do that. Okay, there we go. XEPen 2 link in bio. It literally says my stuff. It's literally there. Link in the bio. That's so freaking good. It's alright. We need to do a little better at this. And then the rest here. Okay. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to clean it up to make it look a lot more better. I put everything on one layer on purpose. So, yeah, I know. I already have the picture thing. Thanks for the follow. Guys, if you like what you see, please follow me on Twitch and YouTube. I don't even care if you try to follow me on the other platforms. Just follow me on Twitch and YouTube. Because TikTok's going to be gone anyway, so follow me on Twitch or YouTube. And for those who don't know, I am not streaming every day anymore. I will be making content again. I'm working on the game stuff. I'm working on drawmations. I'm working on tutorials to go back to basics and just focus on teaching through YouTube or YouTube Shorts or even TikTok. But if you want to follow me, if you want to learn how to draw and all that great stuff, it's kind of like an open jacket. You'll see. So if you want to learn, I will be making tutorials again. I will be making drawmations again. I will not be doing a bunch of artwork like that. I will be doing artwork for my clients if that's what's like what I'm doing right here. But if I'm not doing artwork, I'm making content. I will not be streaming every day anymore. I don't think that works anymore. I think what needs to be focused on is making content. We need to make content, as in like tutorials, drawmations, maybe some game stuff, maybe edit my reactions instead of just slapping them up on YouTube and that's it. Okay, it's better than what I can draw. I don't even have an art tablet. I would always suggest to my students, for those who watch me, is to, I would always practice more on traditional art. And when I say traditional, I'm not talking about going to like the store and getting a bunch of stupid like titanium paint and all that shit. Those more of aesthetics, if anything. For me, I would always just go traditional in the sense of a piece of paper and a pencil. When it comes to what do you call it? What do you call it? What do you call it? When it comes to just traditional technical skills, I would not focus all that extra stuff that's not needed. I think there's two things that most beginners need to master is their technical skills when it comes to literally drawing with lines, and the second thing is learning their color theory and applying that based on value and all that other stuff. Thank you for the sub, I appreciate it. I want to draw good like you. Don't worry, I'm going to be making tutorials again, so I'll give you guys my secrets in that sense. I'm going back to basics, so I think that's where it's at. I don't think that's usually what it is when people say I need to draw digital. It's not even, you're not even learning to draw. You're just learning to use the buttons and the. Hold on, let's see. Thank you. We're not even near done, but I'm just cleaning up and looking for the sketch to be as promising as possible. Now, oh, sorry. What we're gonna do is we're going to flip. Yes, I have. I'm gonna flip, flip, flip. Okay. I'll make this. This. Yep. Flip, 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 flip. Okay. And we're going to fix this leg. I can't do it now. I'm doing this is a video. You can go check my video. It's actually pretty funny. Yes, usually it is. Okay, clean that up. Pull that off. Okay, yay. What app are you using to draw? Clip Studio Paint. Link in bio or in the what do you call it? The description. Oh, YouTube. Well, you can always, anyone can get good at drawing. It's just practice. That's usually what it is. But a lot of people think you have to be like born to draw. It's usually a lie. Okay. Really funny. Yeah. It's all about gravity. 9 times out of 10, you have to make sure the gravity's on par when you're doing anything. When drawing clothing, depending on the clothing texture, the type of clothing you're trying to convey to the audience, you have to keep that in check. So you have to make sure on that. I gotta fix this leg. It's a little bit too weird. Okay. That leg here, a little bit too wonky. Pull it in, put it about there. Okay. I usually when I'm drawing the body. Oh no, you guys can't hear it. I turned that down. It's in my ear, but I can hear you guys. Let me see. Let me see. I'll put it back on in a bit, but just not right now. Yeah. When drawing the torso or just drawing anything, I usually use the molding method, but if I don't know how to draw something, but if I do know how to draw it, I usually just use the live action to make my character, keep my character in check. I use like the live action. That's usually something I'm going to actually show that in a YouTube video in the future. I need this app. Hi, I don't know if you recognize me, but I'm alternate. Oh, hey, Ashley, what's going on? Billy the Kid. Okay. What's going on, bro? Now, let me flip, 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 flip. Okay, looking pretty good. Oops. Okay. So the hand is a little bit like this, and the hand is about here. Okay. And then
Ariane,
I don't really
I can
use the
usually
bean too
see the
much.
waist pretty easily, but I still struggle a bit with figuring out the breast placement on female characters.
I don't usually use the
I've
bean
seen
method
tricks
too
to get
much.
it, but it's still a tad tricky.
Well, it is a tad tricky, but with enough practice, you can. I'm doing well. I'm doing okay. Okay, let's see here. Let's see. Alright, and then okay, the head. With the hand like this. Alright, now the only thing we need to fix is the legs. The legs actually needs to be okay. That's good. Oh, and for those who are wondering, yes, I have a Discord link in bio. But if you guys want to support, please follow me on YouTube or Twitch. I really appreciate it if you did. I've just been a lot busy lately. It's alright. What app? Clip Studio Paint. Okay. Now. Erase this. Fix this leg. Like that. Now we're going to fix the other leg, but we're going to clean up this one real quick. You don't want it to be so weird. Nope. That was a bad idea. Okay. Maybe if I, okay, so.
Ariane, oh yeah, I think I mentioned she's a somewhat transformative character, so she's somewhat tall, or so I made her in the taller version.
Okay. That can be adjusted. It's all about the legs connecting to the leg. Yeah, some form of jacket, but
Botrix
we'll get to
official.
that part later.
Be a support hero today. By using
3D
commands
paint.
like /donation and
I just
/cash app.
be right back. You mean Clip Studio Paint? Thank you for the follow. I do appreciate it, guys. If you like what you see, if you enjoy what you see, and you like to learn, become a student on YouTube or Twitch. Follow me on Twitch. I stream to Twitch and YouTube at the same time, not just TikTok alone. It's time to. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it, guys. What is Okay, pretty good. So now what we're gonna do, before you can do anything, let's flip this, see how it looks. Okay. So what I'll do is, oh, she looks just tilting. There we go. Okay. So what I do is turn her down, and then I'm gonna go here. Okay. Like this. Okay. And then I'll do. Now, I want to not make this look so stiff. So what I'll do is like that. Oops, don't want that. Okay. Okay, do your thing. Let's see here. Actually, we're gonna make this a little bit more here and then here. I'll do it like that.
Ariane, I'm curious, how exactly do you make them look less stiff when their legs are semi-straight and somewhat in movement?
Because the problem is that people are trying to make them look straight. That's their problem. The problem is not. So the problem is that they make the leg straight, which they're supposed to. But the issue is that they make the whole leg straight, meaning the outline. They make the outline look so straight to the point it doesn't even look like legs anymore. See, the direction is where it's going, but you have to give it some curves to give it that realistic look, or at least believable, like these are legs. That's where a lot of people mess up. So when they focus too much of trying to make it look straight, that it ends up looking too robotic. It's a lot like when I mention gestures to people, when I'm teaching gestures to students. The issue is that they try to they make the direction, they make the overall direction the problem. Um, when you're supposed to get the direction correct, and then once you have the direction, then you make it a little more loose. That's the point. This is
Ariane,
why I don't.
someone on my leg cross pose said to draw the back leg than the front one. Cause there's more weight on that leg.
It depends on the weight on the leg based on which leg is being. See, the thing is, when you're standing, you're usually standing. Thank you, but like when you're standing, the issue is that a lot of you don't know this, but you're not. Depending on the overall situation, if you're just like kind of chilling with your friends and stuff, you're not really standing completely on 2 feet. You're standing on one foot a little long, a little harder than the other one. So what I mean by this is, the leg that is more looser is the one that doesn't look as straight. So like, yeah, but that's usually where a lot of people don't realize. So when you're drawing a character or you're doing a reference, you can look at the legs and usually tell which leg is the most is the strongest leg. Not because it's the strongest leg, it's the current longest leg in the moment. That's what I'm trying to say. It's not about if the leg is stronger like overall. It's just like if you're it's like this. If you're trying to say you're trying to balance on one leg, obviously the leg that is standing is the strongest leg even if it's not balanced correctly. It's the leg that is not getting the most balance, is the most loosest. So it's kind of like common sense to a certain degree. You start realizing that, you're like, oh, I get it now, what he's trying to say. it's not that hard to like kind of establish that. It's only hard when you can't visualize it in your head completely, but once you put it in practice, it becomes much easier to like really understand. At first, when I tell this to students, they get kind of confused by what I mean, especially when the character's like standing. Um, but it's quite simple most cases. It's like what can I use an example? Let's see here. I gotta think of an example. Can't think of one right now. Too busy listening to what I was listening to. No reactions today. Let's see. Alright, so we get that here. Like that. Okay. I don't like, okay, number one thing I don't like doing when I'm doing a sketch, like I hate doing is like I'm using the same like uh lines, like same size lines. If you use the same size lines, it's gonna look really like amateurish. But since we're not doing the line art, it doesn't really matter. It just has to make sure it conveys what it's trying to do. Um, there's something called line hierarchy um, that a lot of people kind of like ignore, but needs to learn if they want to understand how to use line art correctly. So what line hierarchy is basically the line that is thickest is usually the line that you use for outlining or overlapping. Um, the line that is the thinnest is usually for details. So that's something to keep in mind. Let's see here. Okay, like that. I'm back. Hi, hey Robert. I just downloaded. Let's see here. Thank you. Guys, if you like what you see, please follow me on YouTube or Twitch. That's it. YouTube or Twitch. Follow me on YouTube or Twitch. If you like what you see, just to let you know, if you follow me on YouTube or Twitch, you'll be able to see my B2B model. You get to actually see me use my B2B model, unlike Twitch. If you're curious to see that. I understand. Okay, so I'm gonna flip this real quick, clean this up a little bit. Okay. Oops. Now we need to make sure. Okay, so I kind of messed up here. Okay. Actually, this was not supposed to be, the jacket not supposed to be like that, but I will fix it. I will fix that. I promise you. Because that was not supposed to be there in the first place. Oh. I understand. that, and then like that. There you go. How long have you been drawing and sketching? I've been doing it since I was little, but uh, I've been drawing since I was 6, but I didn't take this job seriously till I was like 23, 24. I think it was 23, 24. I gotta look at that. I guess so. That I can change it to whatever you want in a second. Let me just get the overall idea and then I can apply it. When I'm doing something like this, I'm not really worried about what it is. I'm just trying to get the overall idea out first. Like one thing a lot of people focus on is too much on detail. Yeah, look at the big picture. Always start big, then go all the way to small. You never start small all the way to big. A lot of people make that mistake. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Oh, okay. How long you been? Okay. Okay. So, okay. The breast is gonna be about here.
Ariane,
Okay.
usually I'll draw the overall pose and get it correct, then slowly add in the details one at a time. But not all at once. Botrix Official. Be a support hero today. By using commands like, support.
It depends on the piece itself. I can't tell you when something's gonna be good, if it's gonna be something complicated. How long it's gonna take, if it's gonna be complicated. Especially if I'm doing a V2ing model. I wouldn't practice anime anatomy, but if that's what you're into, try to be as realistic as possible. I usually tell my students if you're gonna draw anime and that's something you really want to do, I don't discourage them to go draw draw realism, because I know that could be kind of somewhat of uh, a dream killer for some. So I would always recommend them to draw as realistically as possible. So because if you give them the option to at least walk that line more of a suggestion, they'll most likely most go down that road instead of just telling them you must draw realistically. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't. I'm just saying that it's. I think that's the best way to get them to go down that route than just telling outright. Because usually people don't want to draw. Because a lot of people get into drawing is not because of they want to draw like the next Picasso. They usually want to draw the next Goku, the next Ichigo Kurosaki, the next Yusuke Urameshi, the next whatever, the next Luffy. You know what I'm saying? Most of them come in here because of anime majority of the time. Not all, but majority of them do come from the idea that I want to draw anime, I want to draw and do animation, or they do want to do cartoons. Don't really care for anime, but you know, So, and usually what plagues them is that the issue comes from the art style syndrome, which I'm working on a video to talk about that very thing. Whereas I think that the art style syndrome or the art style conundrum or complex is an issue for usually most beginners. I think they obsess over the idea of looking, because the focus for most beginners is being as unique as possible, because everyone thinks they're special and everyone's creative. So because of that, um, yeah, they keep mentioning their art styles, and usually professionals don't have to mention art styles half the time. They never ever truly do half the time. They keep that shit to themselves, because like an art style, for those of you who know, it's like um a art style is kind of like, for my Bleach fans, it's kind of like, or like my Jujutsu Kaisen fans, um it's kind of like a Bankai or like a domain expansion. You know what I'm saying? The reason how you have those things is based on hard work, technical skills, know-how, and knowing how to apply concepts to make it work for you. Now, not every shoe fits all. I get that. Yeah, it's something I'm gonna be doing a video on. I will get flack for it, but it's whatever. But I think the issue that a lot of beginners jump on is that they try to be as unique as possible, and nothing's wrong with that. It's perfectly fine to be unique and, stand out. But like, the problem is that if you can't draw technical things, like basic things, you can't draw that thing you really want to draw. It's gonna look wonky. It's not gonna look as great as you think it will. You only think it look great because you're only at a level where you're just competent enough to draw something to look like what it's supposed to. But it's not at the level where you want it to be, right? So what you should do as a beginner, I would say to anyone, because I'm a somewhat professional, what you need to do is you need to focus on your technical skills and how to apply concepts, so you can really stand out from the crowd. So when I say concepts, I'm talking about your gestures, your forms, your no, actually, in this, your shapes, your forms, your gestures, your perspectives, your balance, your perception based on your perspective, but like perception, your compositions. You need to learn color theory. I think when you're done learning technical skills, when people say technical skills, they're talking about your physical hands and like doing the lines, 9 times out of 10. Now when they're talking about concepts, when I say concepts, I'm talking about like little tricks, tips and tricks that you can apply to situations to help you achieve what you need to get to. Usually when I say this, I'm referring to like color theory. Um, a lot of people skip color theory, and I understand. I did the same thing. I'm no one special. I did the same damn thing, and I wish I didn't do that at the beginning of this career. And a lot of professionals will tell you this. A lot of them would either tell you, if they were to do this all over again, they said, I think what they will work on mainly, and I think someone did this on YouTube. I think it was Prokopenko. He was asking professionals like from Ross Draws, Sam Draws, who else? I think Keaton Lafferty, and asked them, if you were to do this over again, what would you do? They said technical skills. It was always technical skills, and when they see technical skills, they're talking like anatomy understanding, gesture drawing. It's that type of stuff. It's usually the basics that they're referring to, not talking about some outlandish, very super advanced thing. It's usually just something as simple as learning how to draw simply. The point of uh, the point of a art style, ironically, is not how complicated your art style is. The point of an art style is simplifying it in a way that you can understand it. That's the point of an art style. Um, and the reason why people like Horikoshi, let's use from My Hero Academia, is because he practices every single day. He practices every day. That's why you can look at his sketches without any colors whatsoever and appreciate what he does, because he practiced technical skills. I'm 29. I'm 29 years old. So yeah. It's all about technical skills. So that's what that is. You have to apply those technical skills. And a lot of beginners use the "it's my art style" as a response to avoid criticism or avoid practicing, because they'll say this in a like as a shield and as a sword at the same time, um, um, to avoid any form of criticism. Because like if a student comes to me and say, "Hey, teach, um, look at my artwork. How do you think?" And I said, "Okay, it looks good, but this needs to be fixed. This needs to be fixed. You need to work on this. You need to work on this." And then they'll respond with, "But that's not how my art style is, though." I'm like, you shouldn't be worrying about something as shitty as that. To be honest, to tell any of you right now, if you're a beginner and you're focusing on art style, you are wasting your time and you're putting a literal ball and chain on your leg for no reason, and it won't get better. It will get worse if you ignore it. Ignore the art style conundrum complex. Ignore it and focus on how to draw something. Do not worry about how it looks. Like it has to look super stylized. You're wasting your time. I was on that same boat. Don't pretend like I didn't. I just figured everything out. I was on the same boat. I just came to a Jesus moment and realized I need to work on my technical skills. I don't need to know. I don't need to sit here and try to prove to myself or even others that my art style is so different from everyone else. Yuck. No, I don't need to. I just need to know if I can draw something. So when someone says, "Can you draw a hand?" that should be your focus. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, learn how to draw hands. How long does it take you to draw hands? Is it a difficult thing? If it's difficult, then you don't have an art style yet. Well, you may be able to draw one particular thing. I'm not gonna say you can. Maybe you can draw eyes really well. But if you can't draw a head, a neck, a body that connects to that, then you're just really good at drawing eyes. That's it. That's not an art style. Well, you can make an art style of eyes only. It's possible with enough understanding, but that just comes from basically practice. It comes back to the same thing.
JR.
Practice, 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 practice.
Hey.
That's
Yo.
all it's about. Hey, what's up, bro? So yeah, so for anyone who's listening,
Arian,
if you want to improve,
it's a little tricky cause the fingers are somewhat spaced and they have a slight bend is what's throwing me.
Yeah, but you have to apply it nothing. I don't think there's anything called a bad reference. I think it's just bad interpretation. What I mean by this is like, okay, so like you can get like a picture of a girl doing a ballerina thing. I think that's a perfect example of something. But if you're not really paying attention to what she's doing and the placements and the angles and stuff like that, it doesn't matter how good the reference is. If you can't apply your understanding of direction, composition, or overall just how to construct based on forms, you're going to have a hard time. But then again, if you apply your knowledge based on 2D form, then you can apply the 3D form. These are building blocks, right? For you to learn how to do forms, you need to know how to do shapes, because forms don't exist without shapes. So like for instance, if I make a circle, right? And then it's just a 2D circle, right? But if I want to make this 3D, all I have to do is go around with a circle with a ellipse line. Now it looks more 3D than it was before. That gives it that 3D form look. Because when people say the word form, for those who don't know, the term form means 3D. That's literally at its basis. That's literally at its most essence. When people say your shapes are off, they're talking about the 2D overall shape, the circle itself. When people say your form's off, that means your 3D contouring is off. You need to fix the contouring around the the shape. So if I take like a random shape, right? If I take a random shape, like say I'm not gonna make it into a shape that you know. Just say if I made this like this, right? If I want to make this 3D, I have to respect the idea of the shape and give it angles based on the ellipse lines that's being applied right here, and then make sure that it doesn't conflict too much with the overall 2D shape. Okay, so it's like that. It's a ridiculous looking shape, but it's 3D nonetheless now because of these lines. That's what that is. Okay, and then when you're like drawing a character, you put 2D form, but what drawing when you're doing like the gesture of a character, what you need to apply is the idea of looseness. A lot of people, this is why a lot of people say, why does my drawing look great but my line art look like shit? Well, there's two things that's happening. That's usually what's plaguing you. Number one, you didn't flip the canvas. Let's just call it for what it is. You need to flip the canvas. You must check your canvas. You're checking the balance. You're checking the balance of your character so they don't look like they're tipping over. That's one. And then two, the sketch looks like it looks great because it's loose, but it's loose, yet it's not constructed well because you didn't flip your canvas. And because you didn't flip your canvas, the drawing looks weird. And also, there's a third one, which I mentioned earlier. They ever rarely do because no one wants to flip the canvas. I understand. No one wants to flip the canvas because, well, it exposes them for like, oh shit, it doesn't look good on this end. The reason why you must flip the canvas is to make sure it's mirrored on both ends. It doesn't look wonky on one end, because what happens is, why this happens is when you're on one angle for like an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, even 30 minutes, it's gonna look good to you because you're constructing it and you have this carpal vision, carpal vision, carpal tunnel vision. Sorry, tunnel vision. So it looks good to you because you was working on it, so you know how it's constructed. But once you flip it, it exposes how wonky everything is. From the eye placement, from the nose placement, the mouth placement, everything looks off and wonky as hell. And that's not your fault. That doesn't make you less like a shitty artist. It makes you a shitty artist when you don't put the effort to fix it. But it's not a shitty artist because it looks wonky. That's normal to happen. A bunch of professionals do it all the time. You might watch some like some professionals, if you're watching those speed paints, you see it flip kind of fast, or it may not even flip at all because sometimes it depends on the program. Like Clip Studio Paint, it doesn't really show a lot of flipping, ever rarely, unless you're doing it so frequently to the point that it can't resist. It's usually just skipping through everything because it only records once you start drawing. It doesn't record the whole thing when you're using the feature of the time-lapse feature, for those who don't know. So once I put my stylus on the page, that's when it's recording. Once I literally lift off my stylus, that's when it stops. So it's not unnecessarily recording everything. It wastes and taking up space. Excuse me. Hi, hey, hi, miss, hi, mice, hi, mice. I think it's hi, mice. I think I'm saying that right. I'm not totally sure. But yeah. Let's see. Okay. So if you guys like my explanations or my artwork or whatever the case may be, maybe even me, follow me on YouTube and Twitch. Just YouTube and Twitch. You don't have to follow me on Kick or Trovo or not shit. Just literally follow me on those platforms. I will be making new content on YouTube and TikTok on YouTube Shorts, explaining these very concepts in a more constructed way for everyone to understand. So if you want to get better at drawing and you want the golden goose of information, I will give it to you once everything is constructed and edited. Um, it really the glove method is actually quite easy. If you have if you have the fingers if you have the fingers constructed and it looks good, then applying the lines on the side of the fingers or even the hand itself will work because the hands are constructed correctly. It won't work if the hands are not constructed. It's like kind of like the egg before the chicken or chicken before the egg type thing or response. So no, it's like no wrong word. It's like you're putting the carriage in front of the horse. If the horse is in front of the carriage, which is the hand is constructed well, then the carriage comes behind. No, it doesn't matter what direction it goes. It's more of like the hands are constructed, and then once the hand is constructed, that you can apply the ellipse lines on the side of the fingers to the hands to apply it to indicate that they're wearing a um what do you call it a glove. So if that makes sense.
Luna Starlight. Hello, teach onium tu valov.
Hello, Luna. How are you, hon?
Luna
You doing
Starlight.
well?
How are you Storm 47 Heart? Bot Rick's official. Be a support hero today. By using commands like, /donation and, /cash app. Luna Starlight. I'm alright beside from be sick.
Yes. If you guys have any more advice, you have to become part of the subscription base, the subscription, the TikTok subscribers, and also put your question there, and I'll personally answer your question if you become a subscriber. When I say subscriber, I'm not talking about YouTube. I'm talking about literally like paying. But but I would say to anyone. Let me see here. Hold on, something's not right. I think I made a. Oh, I know. Never mind. All right, there we go. Love the work. Thank you. Okay. Got this. Like that. Actually, this shouldn't be puffed out because she's not wearing a dress. She's wearing a jacket. Yeah. It's more of a jacket that I see. It's a heavy jacket outside and there's a jacket underneath. So I have to open it in a bit. I just need to get the overall idea out first. Okay. Okay. Let's see here. Okay. Okay. And the leg and the finger goes up. Okay. And then okay. And then the finger. Okay. The hand looks kind of ridiculous. Please bear with me. I will fix it. Let me. Actually, this part has to be small. Okay.
At hi MYSSSSSSS. Bye.
Okay, later. If you haven't, can you use Iblis Paint? I don't have it. I never used it. I have never used Iblis Paint or Photoshop to do my artwork. Not once. I only use Photoshop to make my thumbnails, and that was back in the day. I don't even use Photoshop anymore. I use Canva. Okay. No. You have. That's a commission. I don't do free requests. I do not do free requests. That's a commission. I stopped doing that a long time ago.
JR. I've used MS Paint for some mouse challenge drawings, and I'm a Photoshop guy.
Why would you use MS Paint? MS Paint. I've heard that thing has ruined so many people's lives. It can have been a big cause of carpal tunnel to a certain degree. Love the work you inspire me to start drawing again. Thank you. No problem. I'm back. Welcome back, Robert. Let me see. Okay. Okay.
JR. It was more for the meme, but it turns out okay. I'll have to show you sometime.
Okay.
I drew Star Fox, Donkey Kong, and Mario all at once.
Oh, wait, did she say something earlier? Alright, back up. Alright, besides being sick. Hello, spinners. Hmm. Okay, I'm back. I draw the Mona Lisa. I draw the Mona Lisa. Cool. Okay. Put the hand there. Clip sleeve paint. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Christy of Paint, link in bio. Links in the bio. All my stuff says literally my stuff. I even fixed my link tree. I just fixed it and cleaned it up yesterday, so it's not a big hullabaloo of stuff.
JR. How goes your day?
It's going pretty well. Been really busy doing all these commissions. I have hardly any time for myself. Since I'm not streaming every day anymore, I'm getting more time to get stuff done. Thank God.
Ariane. Oh yeah. I should have mentioned this. The last OC is supposed to look scary the way I drew him, so he's a tad underdeveloped, but yeah, his style is scary.
Okay. Do you enjoy the process of making commissions? Yes, because I'm getting paid for my work. I have no idea. I have never. I know. I kind of thought that shit was kind of dumb to a certain degree, but I understand why people buy them. First, it feels like it gives them a form of status, and then the second, it stops from the oils on the screen. I guess messing up your screen, but how oily as a person are you? But then again, that might be like a person by person basis. So if you're a very oily person, then I guess that's more for them.
Botrix official. Be a support hero today. By using commands like /donation and /cash app.
And no, that's not an attack on anyone who wants a drawing glove. You want a drawing glove, fine. It's not that makes you a terrible person or something. It's just my opinion. Makes sense. Okay, I have no idea how people can draw in a screen. On a screen, I mean. It's kind of weird because if you're so used to getting grip from the pencil, it's gonna feel weird when you move over to when you move over to digital, but you'll eventually get around to it. See, the trick on draw on screen is to use your pinky. Thank you, I appreciate it. Well, you use your pinky as your stopping for keeping things more grounded. If you try to draw it like this, you're not gonna get enough grip, and you're going to make mistakes. Or you can try, but that just depends on the person, to be honest. But I wouldn't do that. Okay, now this is where the problem comes in, this big gap. I don't want that, so I'm going to erase most of that. I think if I There you go. That was supposed to be an exclamation point. The elbow, you mean? No. No. Okay. Okay. Now the finger here looks a little weird, so I'm gonna fix that. Oh, the thumb I'm talking about. Looks too long. Okay. Don't like this arm. It looks too sausagey, so we're going to fix that real quick. For those who are wondering or watching, become a student. Either become a student or become a free student by following me on YouTube or Twitch. I will be making new content very soon. Pretty much this month. Whether it be tutorials or a case of being how to draw and work on technical skills. And this time I will explain. I won't just say I'm drawing. So I might make even some new YouTube videos per se. That. Okay. Okay. There you go. Okay. Now let's see. Okay. Okay, I'm back. Okay. Let's flip this. Now the legs. Okay, and then we'll put it down here. Shit. Okay. Oh shit, I made that too. That's crazy. Yeah. Makes sense. Yeah, it is. That's insane. I wonder why. Okay. Okay, there for now. We can go back to the feet in a little bit. The legs are there. Okay. Oh. Oh. Here we go. No, leave it alone. Just leave it alone. We can come back to it later. Alright, so like this. Alright, and then erase this part. It's not like the last jacket from the last one. Okay, so it goes, I think, straight down. Okay. Yeah, doesn't look all that presentable. Erase this completely, and then we'll see again. And then put this here. Okay. All right, pretty good, pretty good, pretty good. So now what you do is clean up here. Now let me go to this hand real quick because it looks really like funny looking. Here. What brush are you using? I'm using a crayon, yes. Okay. Okay. Problem. Oh, I see the issue. So, finger. Still look like a sausage. One, that part there. There we go. Okay. Make sure that this first like that. It usually is just because I think what plagues a lot of people when drawing hands is that the issue comes from um, width and contouring. I think that's where the problem kind of stems from. That. There you go. All right. Okay, so that's taken care of. Like that. So wait, that's 1, 2, 3. You can only draw with knuckle indents if it's showing. It depends on the angle. It usually depends on the angle. You can put them, but sometimes they may look really off if it's not angled correctly. Usually it just takes one bump, not several, but it depends. It really just depends, 9 times out of 10. Okay. Like that and like that. grab this part. Okay. There we go. I like that instead. The key of drawing hands, I think, in my opinion, is not to make them look soft. Don't make them look soft. Make them look as robotic as possible, outline-wise, because they'll look more believable. Believe it or not, but that's based on the outline, not the gesture. Okay. And then right here, I don't want that so wide. Okay. I'll fix that in post. So. Just like that. If you draw them more robotic-like, ironically, it will work. See how every time I make a line, I make a new line? It feels more believable in this sense. 1, 2, 3. It feels like a hand. I'm not trying to draw it as organic, which is very awkward to know because it kind of goes against all the things I've said. The hands are a very complex body part, in my opinion. It's pretty complex. I don't know why this works, but it works somehow. But I'm not saying it might work for me, but it may not work for you. You just can't grasp it for the way I'm saying it or the way I'm doing it. And that's fine. But it may be another way for you to understand it. Okay, like that. There we go. I don't think that bump should be there, but you know, it's kind of funny that they never remastered Sly Cooper yet. Isn't that weird? Like Spiral and Crash has been either remastered or got new games. I'm just now noticing that right now. Which is also strange because Sly Cooper was supposed to get a movie or something. Thank you. That's what I do. Thank you. You know. Okay. kind of weird. All right, I think that's good. We have this hand still needs a little work, but it's okay. Before I go to that point, let's fix the actual jacket now. The jacket was supposed to be opened. What was the jacket supposed to be again? Sometimes starts with a C. Okay. Cardigan jacket. I think she said cardigan jacket. Oh. Okay. Alright, how can I make that work? Let's see. Okay. Okay, so okay. Hey Barker, what's going on? Okay. Okay, there you go. Are you good? Yeah, I'm pretty good. What about you? How's life going? Oh my god. Hmm. No, that'll make her look. I don't know, it's right. Why? Okay.
Lviv. Hello.
Hello, what's going on? Hmm.
Lviv. I'm drawing 2R and he.
That's cool. That's good. That's good. That's good. Okay. No.
Lviv. I love your avatar, happy face.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate it very much so. He's a little guy. He's a cute little guy. Trust me, he makes me look good. Okay, so this is where I'm. It should not be that puffed up. Okay. And now that. Okay. Okay. All right. Let's see. Actually, no. I don't even have to show this part.
Ariane, you know the dress I sent you? That's the dress she's wearing.
I already
The
used it.
style is over on the new one, but that's the dress she has on. Nightbot. At Ariane dash I'm sorry, did I break your concentration? Stop spamming words/phrases warning. Botrix official. Be a support hero today. By using commands like, support. Nightbot. Be a support hero today. By using commands like, /donation and, /cash app.
Okay. I'm trying. I don't mind listening to Smash JT, but I don't like that stupid outro he has. I'm sorry. I really do not like that intro. That outro. Uh oh. This is not gonna end well. Uh oh. No. Okay. Oh god. Oh my god. This man. Oh no. Uh oh. Oh Jesus Christ. Oh my god. I wish you guys could hear what I'm hearing, but I can't. What the fuck? This is amazing. I love it. Oh my god. Okay. 18 more years and then we are free. What the fuck? Damn. Shit. Oh shit. That's crazy. Bro, I would pay 40 something dollars for one piece of art. If you want a commission, you can just go to the link tree and look at what you want to buy. If you want to buy, can't speak to that. It's literally in the link tree. You can just look and it says TikTok gift commission. So you send a gift based on the commission that's on the menu. Oh man, this video will not go well. I don't know how I feel about that. I'm not saying it's not true. I'm just saying that it's gotta be hard to. Alright, so let's go. So go to the link tree. It's literally there. It says TikTok gift, whatchamacallit, I forgot what it's called, gift something. And you click it, it'll open, and it'll just literally show you the menu, and they'll put the prices next to them. Oh, Jesus. What you're witnessing is a commission. I'm doing this for a client. Okay. Okay, yeah. Kind of makes sense. Oops. the fuck? Okay. You're laughing too hard. I think you need to chill. Nope, you're not watching what I'm listening to, so that's why. Let me see here. It was, but I was not going to do a reaction today. No reactions today. Okay. What the hell is that? Oregano. I believe it. Yes. Hey, what's going on? People talk is always talking around it. Hmm. What? What? Are you live on Discord? I'm not live on Discord, but you can follow me on Discord if you like. That's up to you. What? What kind of question is this? What? The fuck? What the hell? What the hell? What the fuck? This is so weird. What the fuck? Bro, it's kind of confusing because you, Rebecca, so like because you're saying things. Well, actually, I'm not showing the screen. If you guys want to come over here and hear the react, you know what? Fuck it. Do you guys want to do a reaction? Come over here. Fuck. Come on YouTube, because since people are so damn nosy, when they want to hear what I'm saying. Come over here. Come over here on YouTube. If you don't, stay where you are and don't listen. Shit. Okay. Fine. Fine. So, you guys are so damn nosy. Let me see. Okay. I'm gonna do this. Okay. So let me grab this. Grab this real quick. This is wild. I don't know what to make out of this. I was gonna avoid this type of video, but I guess it was just too enticing to listen to. Like, I tend to do better when I'm not entertaining. I do better when I'm just listening and just working. I think that's virtue for anyone, but since you guys really want to know, come over here. I'm not even gonna say what it is. You gotta come over here. The hell? Oh. Because I technically can't say. I can, but I can't. It's not something I would do a reaction to normally. For those who know my content, I don't even think I'm gonna make this into a video because I really don't want to like bring something like this to my work. Okay, there we go. No, you're probably on YouTube Shorts. So, or wait, no. I want to say. All right.
Samurai.
So,
yo.
Where is the? Fuck. Where's the background? You know, if I kind of got this done sooner, I would have probably go straight playing Cult of the Lamb or something. but it is what it is. Where's the fucking... Okay. God, I gotta just stop. I should get rid of all this stuff, honestly. It's just a waste of my time. I keep constantly doing this. Here we go. So, for those who don't know, what we're about to watch is something that I wouldn't normally would watch, because either I don't care or it's kind of beaten to death. But given that I had nothing else to listen to, because there was no Kyle or anything, I was just bored. So this is from Cindy Watson, for those who know who she is. I don't really have to mention who she is, but she's a pretty good content creator. This says the victimization of Justin Bieber. Like, I don't care for celebrities and stuff, but I had nothing to listen to while I was working, so I just put in anything, and that came up, and it was kind of funny how I was hearing, but it's not funny based on context. Well, it's funny on it's based on context, but it's not funny on subject matter. So let's put it that way. So if you guys want to listen to this, I don't know if I'm gonna make this into a video because it's not something I'll normally react to. It's not really my thing, but if I'll think about it, because this is not something I would want on my channel to be talked about, because I don't really, it doesn't concern me. It doesn't concern like the animation industry, the anime industry, the entertainment industry. Well, it does, but that's more celebrity based, music, singing, blah blah blah. So let's see where this goes. So I'm gonna play this. For those who are listening, come over here on YouTube horizontal, not shorts, because you guys tend to confuse the two. Type in my name, search or whatever, or go to the link tree, and you'll see the one with no thumbnail is the one that I'm using my my VTubing model. So let's go.
Get It Bieber the way he was trying to get it Bieber was looking a little predatory. And then Usher came in and discovered it and managed him and got custody of him and promised to look after him. And then he sent him to the diddler.
Well, this is absolutely cooked. Hi, my name is Sydney. Welcome back to hell. And hell this video is indeed, my friends. We are well and truly on the hell gondola. I honestly can't tell you how many videos I had to watch in order to make this video, and frankly, I'm not sure I could have done it without these little magic mind bottles. Which I've mentioned before in previous videos, but I genuinely have to say that they make it easier for me to concentrate and focus when I'm crying inside. I genuinely love this stuff, so for those of you who are interested, I will link it in the description box, and you can also use my code SydneyWatson20 for 20% off your order. Also, this video will probably be demonetized because of the subject matter, so consider heading over to my company, Lions Tea Exchange, and picking up yourself a little box of tea or a wooden gift box or something, because it helps the channel and I like making you all very happy with yummy drinks. I will also link this in the description box. Now, I've made no secret of the fact that I am not interested whatsoever at all in what celebrities are doing really at any given time. But whenever information comes out about young people being mistreated in either the acting industry or the music industry, then I start to care. Because it makes me really angry. For those of you who don't know, a well-known rapper and producer called Sean Combs, also known as Diddy, P. Diddy, Love, Puff Daddy, and about 400 other stupid names, was recently arrested on accusations of
They are really dumb names. You shouldn't have that many names.
Sex trafficking and racketeering. Because why not? As it turns out, Combs was involved in some depraved activities, such as group relations, wink wink, nudge nudge, you guys know what that means, and what can be described as freak-offs. Many of these events also involved other celebrities and people involved in the music industry. You guys might have also seen the news that Combs was found with 1,000 bottles of baby oil, which I don't know why, but I just find that really funny. I guess he wanted to be extra slippery. I don't know. Anyway, because Combs has been a mover and shaker in the music industry for literally decades, he's come into contact with his fair share of very, very young pop stars. And rappers, and other kinds of musicians too. One of those musicians is none other than Justin Bieber, who, since his early teenage years, has had a very, very hard time, and over the last few years in particular, has owned up to his prolific substance abuse to cope with his time in the industry. And since all of the Combs news has come to light, people have been dragging up previous clips of the two together, including one where Combs says that he's going to have...
I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know why they name it that. It makes it sound much more worse than it is. Or, like, it actually sounds incredibly stupid. I know what it is. But, like, it feels like that's what it is, but I feel like it's not at the same time. It feels like something completely something completely heinous, but it's not what you think it is at the same time. It's a weird term. Why don't you just call it for what it is?
48 hours with the team to hang out and do things they can't disclose.
Right now, he's having 48 hours with Diddy, him and his boy. They're having the times of their lives, like, you know, where we hanging out and what we doing. We can't really...
Hey everyone, big heads up, Paleo Valley's running a sale on all their meat sticks right now. You can get 30 sticks for $36, which comes out to $1.20 per stick. But before you go and stock up, first, here's why these are the fastest growing meat sticks on the market and a state...
The timing on that. He's gonna hang out with Diddy for 48 hours. And then the commercial comes and, hey, we get some meat sticks. You can't make this shit up! Why? 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 Why?
LMAO.
I didn't want to make this. I might make this in a video after. Where's my water? Bro, that is inappropriate as shit. That's not funny. Do not laugh at this. If you laugh at this, you're going to hell. I'm already going to hell, so I'm just warning you.
Disclose, but it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream.
As well as other clips where Bieber looks incredibly uncomfortable interacting with him. Not to mention the supercuts of people groping Bieber when he was 14 and 15 years old, which unfortunately we'll come back to. Even some news outlets are reporting presently that Bieber is struggling with the Combs arrests and the many public admissions of his disgusting behavior. I think many people have historically looked at Justin Bieber as a spoiled rich kid with absolutely no regard for himself or for other people. But as time has worn on, it's become increasingly clear that he was yet another young person who is just trying to survive in an industry and around people who were both exploiting him and hurting him when he was a minor. So that's what we're going to talk about today, the victimization of Justin Bieber and all of the awful things that go along with that. And of course, all of my regular disclaimers here. This video is by no means exhaustive. There are so many components to not only Sean Combs and all the things that he did, but also to this Justin Bieber side of things as well. We won't get to all of them in this video because it would be, you know, like 1,000 years long. So on that note, and before you once again board my hell gondola and together we cuddle up and coast in these waters of sadness and weirdness and what the hell is happening, let's hear from today's sponsor, Fume. Breathing is an activity that I really enjoy.
So much so that I go outside to do it.
But it's hard to enjoy breathing if you're someone who pollutes your lungs with toxins and chemicals. Your heart is also having a bad time. I need you to stop this.
That's telling me something. I'm sorry, Sydney.
Drug use takes rails. Our code on screen. And don't forget to use code Sydney to get your free Fume topper when you order a journey pack. Around 2013, 19-year-old Justin Bieber had started to go off the rails. In January, a photo of the pop star smoking some oregano had been leaked to the press and seemingly signaled the beginning of his descent into alcohol, drugs, and depression. By the same time the following year, Bieber's former housekeeper, Tatiana Wozniak, Wozniak, I have no idea how to say this, told the Sunday People that the drug use taking place at the Bieber residence was staggering. She described her fear that the pop star would become the next Michael Jackson and die young and alone from an overdose. She described Bieber as a zombie, saying he looked pale, frail, and sick. During the interview, Wozniak, I know I'm saying this wrong, I'm sorry guys, noted several times the singer was so high he could barely walk or talk. Although Bieber's drug use was typically chalked up to his own choices, his former housekeeper suggested that Bieber wasn't only doing this to himself, but being drugged and taken advantage of by those around him. She even tried reaching out to Bieber's mother and manager, Scooter Braun, but nobody lifted a finger to do anything. Man, it's honestly a sad time when your housekeeper has to call your parents and ask them to come and, you know, like, parent. No shade to Justin's mom or anything,
that's
but
a bad omen.
Emmy. Hi Teach, how are you?
Hey Emma, what's up M&Ms? What's going on, hon? How you been? How's your soccer thing going?
yeesh. This is why I believe in parenting licenses.
Yes,
Things seem
we
to go
need
on like
parenting
this
licenses. I've been, bro.
for some time. Bieber's descent into drugs and alcohol was swift, and soon he was getting arrested and constantly in the papers and press for his inappropriate, outrageous, and dangerous behavior. This was viewed at the time as yet another child star acting out and going mad. But as we now know, the vast majority of these young people were subjected to horrific things in their formative years, often at the hands of adults in the industry who were supposed to protect them, but in actuality were the very people victimizing them.
So then at this point now, we can actually say if a child star or child singer or whatever occupation their lucrative career is, if they're acting out insane like Amanda Bynes to like Orlando Brown and who else? What's her name? Lindsay Lohan.
My game today had to be cut of early BC. My teammate did something to her tailbone. She couldn't get up off the ground.
Uh-oh. She probably broke her macachnus. That's a thing. Hopefully she can walk, or at least move her leg. It is a painful thing. She probably, broke her macachnus. That's a thing. Not even trying to be funny, even though the word is funny. I think that happened to my dad. He broke his macachnus once. So it's a tailbone thing. Well, it's only more better than it was before. Anyway, so the point is like, we should now come to the conclusion, whenever you see these child stars or these young people go crazy and acting out like they normally wouldn't, that probably is a telling sign that they're being abused by either parent, manager, whoever the hell. It doesn't matter. Like any type of adult that has custody of them or around them.
They had to call an ambulance.
Yeah, you should probably.
Ryaga Samurai. LOL, funny word.
It is a funny word. I don't know why they named it that, but it is a term. Very weird. Because it goes right after when on YouTube, like it's. Oh, you're talking about that voice. Oh, you're talking about the speech to text. Okay, I think that's what you're referring to. I don't know if you're referring to. It changes depending on what do you call it? Thing. What do you call it? I forgot what it's called. But yeah, I think we have to come to the conclusion now that whenever these child stars are acting crazy or acting out beyond unusually like crazy, it's because they're being somewhat abused or being used, or they're under the influence because of some adult who is not looking out for them, or a case may be because they have terrible influences that's around them, or people who are supposed to take care of them, and they're using them.
The question here becomes, why would Justin Bieber be any different? Spoiler alert! He's not, given that he was discovered in 2008 at around 13 years old, and almost from the outset was plunged into chaos and constantly subjected to and surrounded by age-inappropriate behavior. Since Sean Combs was arrested and since more information about his depraved behavior has come to light, people's minds immediately went to Justin Bieber, wondering what might have happened to him as a boy, not only at the hands of Combs or in his presence, presence, but at the hands of the many, many people orbiting Bieber. At this stage, the Sean Combs / Justin Bieber revelations were mostly hearsay and actually continue to be mostly hearsay, coming from former security guards, former assistants, and Combs's former girlfriend, who's also deceased. Remember this because we'll come back to it in a little bit. But what we do know for certain is that since Justin Bieber has appeared on the scene, he has been subjected to blatant and unwanted harassment and assault by lots of different people in the industry. And it seems that it's taken over a decade for people to realize just how disgusting some of this behavior towards this pop star actually was. I mean, who could have possibly predicted that? In 2009, when he was around 15 years old, Bieber was asked sexually charged questions on 2 separate radio shows. The host of Mojo in the Morning, Shannon Murphy, asked the teenager if his parents had given him the sex talk yet, before asking if he'd give her the sex talk. Bieber replied that he felt uncomfortable.
Parents never gave me the sex talk. Okay. So why don't you give me the sex talk? I feel uncomfortable right now. Oh. Why do you want to know the sex talk from a 15-year-old boy? That's pretty weird.
It's okay, Justin. The rest of us are also uncomfortable listening to this.
Probably weird.
During the other radio show, Bieber was asked if he liked French girls. When he replied yes, the host says why, because they have big boobs. He adds, do you...
This is something I did not want to bring up, but people were so wanting to know what I was listening to. I was not going to do a reaction today. But it was inevitable because myself made it too interesting. Sorry about this, Em. But we are just listening to Cindy Watson? I don't care. Talk about The Diddler. Not because I want to. It was just something that played in my ear when I was working. You know when you have like YouTube playing and it's just playing in the background? So I just went to anything. So I had first, it was just a Devion in my ear and
Ryaga Samurai.
And
LOL.
The typical anti-woke stuff. And then it somehow popped up to this. I was not even paying attention. And you know when you're just working, you're in the zone, you really don't want to like break that flow. And then it was kind of happening, and I was listening now, and I started laughing because of what she was saying. And then after that, I gotta see if I'll probably go watch later. Okay, later. Thank you, Angel. Angel. Hope to see you again. So I end up laughing, and then everyone wanted to know what the hell I was listening to. So here we are. Now I don't know if I'm still gonna make this in a video, but we will see. But
you know how to French kiss? Afterwards, Bieber said, they were asking some really weird questions. I'm only 15 and my mum was like right there. It was remarkably challenging to find a good quality version of this original clip, so you guys are just gonna have to take my word for it. Yes, I'm doing a trust me bro, but actually, please trust me, bro. During his 2011 appearance on The Talk, Bieber told Leah Remini no several times before she stopped trying to touch him. She also asked him if he'd rather perform a full song on stage while naked or drink a cup of blended worms. What?
Okay,
What is this?
Part, but I didn't hear that last part. That part. I didn't hear that part before. This is where the point where you guys kind of kept on asking me what I was listening to when I was laughing. Now I didn't hear that part. That part is weird. Why the fuck? I swear they wouldn't have done this if this was a young girl. I bet you it was a bunch of dudes asking these same questions on live TV or on TV. Where this? Remember, this is not live TV. This is recorded and posted. I mean, recorded and put on the air after the fact. This wasn't live, and they were just asking weird questions. This was already live, and knew what these questions was about. It was not like they was just off the dome doing stuff, like you're watching a Twitch stream. They was doing this and recorded, written, and produced everything already before you even sat on that chair. Yeah, that's not cool.
This was especially weird considering—
Imagine if this was a bunch of dudes asking a young pop female these questions. My god, this would not end well. Their careers will be over.
how many children were behind her in the audience. Again, Bieber looks extremely uncomfortable with this line of questioning. Also, why are people asking this stuff of a young teenage man? I don't get it. In the same year, another clip popped off that showed James Corden trying...
I think that's what it is. It's because they know they'll get away with it. I think that's what that is.
To touch Bieber's face and hair, leaning in close to him to tell him how good he smells.
Can I say this? Lean into me again. You smell.
Imagine if he was asking this of a again. Imagine if this I forgot his name. This dude with the mic. Imagine he was asking a female this and asking them to smell their shirt or their head or something. It would not go. It will not bode well for him. It will not bode well for him.
Amazing. How old are you?
Thank you.
How old are you?
I'm 16. I'll be 17 in like 2 weeks.
I don't ever remember smelling that good at 16. Like that was bad.
Yeah.
Wow, look at your eyes.
You know what it is? You know how I look at celebrities now? In Hollywood? I kind of look at them like... I'm saying my impression. What I do for my anime studies is I focus on my anatomy on real things, like be as realistically as possible. I usually tell people if you're trying to do anime and get into drawing, try to draw as realistically as possible, because I know when I tell them go draw realism, it's not going to go bode well. They're not going to listen, or they don't want to. So I would say draw realistically as possible. So an example of this is like Cowboy Bebop. It's stylized, but it's trying to be as realistic as possible. So think of any anime that feels more realistic in their anatomy drawings or their stylizations compared to like something like Shaman King, if you know what that is, or Panty and Stocking, Shaman King. If you think of any anime that is super stylized, I'm not referring to those. I'm talking about those who are more close to like realism. Like I'll say like a little bit more Gundam, like Gundam, like Gundam Wing, or like Cowboy Bebop, like what's another? I can't think of one. But that's what I would do. I would try to look at real people and try to draw them as real as possible.
Sun Can Rock.
Sun Can Rock. Let me see. Sun Can Rock. So I would do that, practice that, and see where you go from there, and see how realistic you can really pull it off, based on your stylizations. So back to what I was saying. So the point, the point I'm getting at is the way I look at celebrities now. I kind of look at them like the, what do you call them? Hold on. Let me look it up real quick. I don't want to say it wrong. I look at them as I kind of look at the celebrities like celestial dragons from One Piece. They just do not care, and they usually get away with a lot of bullshit. Not saying that they're completely immune to problems, but like, or getting in trouble. But 9 times out of 10, that's how I look at them.
It's realistic but stylized.
Yeah, it's realistic but stylized. That's why I would at least get more students to at least go down that route to draw a little more realistically. If you give it to them more of a suggestion, the more likely they'll do it. But yeah, I look at them like celestial dragons from One Piece. I know it's kind of ridiculous to say something like this, but like just put it into context. These people really do not give a shit, and I think.
IGTG. Hopefully, I see you soon.
All right, later, M. Thank you for coming. Appreciate it. I think they really don't care, and they get away with a lot of bullshit. 9 times out of 10, and it's not a race thing, and it's not like even a gender thing, because if you've seen throughout the years, people used to say, "Oh, evil white men X, Y, and Z do all these evil things like what Diddy has done," but there's a lot of people of color who have done this very thing, right? And gender, like there's people or like, women and people of color have done things like this, something similar, not on the same scale, but something similar or just as worse, and either they get a slap on the wrist or they completely lose their careers. There's a lot of people who have like said and done evil and crazy things, or got caught for doing crazy things, and lost their whole careers over it because they felt immune. It didn't matter if they're of what political aisle they were, or what gender they were, or even color. It didn't matter. These celebrities all know each other. They all are cut from a particular cloth, that they know each other. Even when they say they hate each other, they still work with each other in some form to get clout, to make money, to do this, to do that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, even when, like, say rappers who say they don't like each other, it's very rare they ever like actually meet up. They just make disses, right? That's it. And they make money off those disses. For all I know, sometimes those things are pretty much fabricated in some form. Remember with the whole diss between Soulja Boy and, was it Chris Brown? See how that died within like 2 weeks? That shit was like, it blew up like for like 1 month and died off within 2 weeks. Like it was wild. And you never hear about it ever again. Same thing with Drake and Chris Brown, I guess, when they was fighting over Rihanna, I think. And then that just died off. And then now they started making music together again. Like, bro, all these people know each other. But most of the time, these shits are fabricated 90% of the time. Because they have people, PR people, who tell them, if you watch The Boys, that's a perfect example of that. Like, if you ever watch the show The Boys, if you see how they market the superheroes the way they do, it's exactly how they market these celebrities. It's wild. So, like, it's kind of wild in that sense. So, that's why they get away with this stuff, because they know that they believe that young boys don't have the same value of young girls, of their privacy or their time. They just think young boys just want to, you know, all day, and they don't care about themselves. They just say whatever. But that's not the case. There's a lot of young boys who don't want people knowing about their situations, or know their who they're into, who they're not into, whether they're on the straight or narrow, or whatever case may be, whether they're straight or gay. They don't want people know that, because that's their private business. You know what I'm saying? It's not cool.
Ryaga Samurai. This is Soulja Holla at me bruh sad but relieved face.
You remember that? You remember that? And it was in a dark room for some odd reason. And then for some odd reason within that beef, he went to the South and he tried to get hugs from people, and people was not fucking with It's still funny up to this day. The most weirdest thing I ever... That was a weird beef. One of the strangest beef I ever seen. I don't know what to make out of that. That's still funny.
What music are you listening to at the moment?
And then after that, Soulja Boy went off making fake Nintendo Chinese games or something, like a fake Nintendo. Super Nintendo. He was trying to make his own console, and the Chinese was not having it.
Samurai.
For Nintendo.
He sounded so sad, LMAO.
He said, "Hit me up, bruh." He said, "Hit me up, bruh." It's Soulja. Hit me up. Like, what the fuck?
A year later, actress Jenna McCarthy went viral in a bad way for grabbing Bieber around the neck and kissing him. He pulls himself away and announced that he felt violated.
This is where I'd talk about what I liked in my first box if I hadn't already been using them since the beginning of...
Wow! I feel violated right now.
This situation was especially icky, given that later on McCarthy doubled down, saying that it was a little cougar scary, but I took the opportunity in the window, considering I'll never get to do it again, and kind of...
Wow, imagine if a dude said that. Any dude, it doesn't matter. It was like from Will Smith to Will Ferrell. It doesn't matter. It was Pharrell. It doesn't. Why did I pick all the Pharrells? All the Wills. That's weird. It doesn't matter if it was like The Rock. It doesn't matter. If any dude said that on record, on TV and said and did what he did. You know what I'm saying? Like, remember that clip of what's his name? Jim Carrey, who was not too happy with his friend. I think it was James Cameron. Cameron? When she was being, I guess, somewhat
Jennifer Nelson. LOL.
harassed by some other actor. I forgot his name. So he took it upon himself to go up there on stage and make him feel uncomfortable, like he made her feel uncomfortable, and everyone gave Jim Carrey like props, and they gave him like accolades and everything for standing up for her and stuff. But if anyone were to do that for Bieber, everyone will say, "Oh, it's not a big deal."
Molested him.
I did grab his butt. I'm single, but I think that's cougar rape.
What?
Ugh.
Bro.
Why are we? What is going on here? Maybe I'm not the target audience, but I don't think this is all that funny. I really do yearn for the asteroid. Finally, another notable clip showed Katy Perry grabbing Bieber's behind and mouthing to the camera, "Sorry, Selena," Bieber's girlfriend at the time. These are, of course, not the only examples of the young man being groped, grabbed, and asked weird sexual things and generally harassed by.
So when it happens to a male, it's okay. He doesn't get justice. He doesn't need to be called brave. None of that stuff. Especially if he's a straight one. He just gotta take it. He likes it. He's just kidding. That's why. Oh shit. That's wild, bro. I don't know what to make out of that.
Opportunity in the window, considering I'll never get to do it again, and kind of molested him.
I did grab his butt. I'm single, but I think that's cougar rape.
Wow.
Ugh. Why are we? What is going on here? Maybe I'm not the target audience, but I don't think this is all that funny. I really do yearn for the asteroid. Finally, another notable clip showed Katy Perry grabbing Bieber's behind and mouthing to the camera, "Sorry, Selena," Bieber's girlfriend at the time. These are, of course, not the only examples of the young man being groped, grabbed, and asked weird sexual things and generally harassed by adults, but it certainly paints the picture of what people were prepared to do to a 15-year-old boy out in public. The sad thing to me is that in a handful of these situations, Bieber tried to play along. The Mojo in the Morning host, for example, Shannon Murphy, who asked Bieber about the sex talk, said that he was flirting with her and was touching her himself.
No. I do not believe that. Why would he say this, but he'll say his mom is there. His mom is right there. When did he have time to do this? Please tell me. Bullshit. I call bullshit. No. You're not gonna play that weird game. He did not do such things. His mom is there. And they're asking him from his mom. You think he's gonna try flirt with his mom next? Hell no. Like, no.
Similarly, he joked with Katy Perry after she grabbed him, saying that they could do that forever if she wanted. People have assumed that Bieber's responses to these situations means that he was okay with what was happening to him, but I argue that his introduction to physical touch and boundaries were extremely skewed based on how young he was when he became a pop star. Not to mention, apparently, all the people around him were modeling this behavior. It's not really super surprising that he took part if this is what he'd come to expect. Ah, haha, I'm glad you asked. We do in fact have a name for this. It's called grooming.
Yes.
It's kind of funny because I can anticipate some of the comments that I'm going to get with relation to this part of the video, because every time I talk about adults being really creepy towards teenagers and young people and minors, there's this cohort of humans who are like, stop infantilizing these teenagers, like they're old enough to do whatever. And,
No,
you know,
not.
maybe there's an argument to be made there about some issues, but I don't think this is one of them. And I don't think it's infantilizing them to say, hey, adults, don't be creepy.
Bri, how would you feel you had your nieces going through this? You would be pissed. You would hate this. Like, what the hell? These people are weird. Imagine that was like your kid or something. And people are trying to justify, no, they can do what they please. No, bro, no. Because weirdos like you exist. That's the problem. What the hell? That's crazy.
Stop being creepy. I will die on this hill. Stop being creepy towards 14 and 15-year-old minors. It's just, it's not okay. Come here. Can I touch your butt? Yes, but it's okay. Murphy, they're light bulbs. They're not, no, stop looking at them. They're light bulbs. They're light bulbs. My dog thinks that the light bulbs on the ceiling that he can see, he thinks that they're tennis balls or baseballs. It's a whole problem. That's a whole problem, my dog. There's something wrong with him. Anyway, with all of this in mind, it's really not that hard to assume that things were much worse behind the scenes. We have so many additional and verified stories that are similar to point to, so I think that it's fair that we can make an educated assumption and judgment here. Bieber has said in interviews as an adult that his drug use was a form of escapism and a way to cope with his life. His wife Haley, in his YouTube original series Seasons, describes it as self-medication to numb himself. This sentiment seemingly showed up too in his 2021 song Lonely, which people have been pointing to recently as another indication that the singer was struggling for a very long time. The lyrics describe how alone he felt, despite the money and fame, and how everyone saw him sick and didn't care or help. More recently, as of 2023, news outlets reported that Bieber was hinting at quitting the music industry to continue to focus on his mental and emotional health and his marriage. This isn't too much of a revelation, given that in one particularly notable video, Bieber also cries while discussing wanting to protect fellow singer Billie Eilish from his same experiences in the music industry. Eilish rose to superstardom at a very early age as well.
I'm tearing up thinking about it, just with the Kobe situation. You know, I just wanted to be a good example, and
What's his voice? Oh, what the fuck happened to his voice? I'm not one to speak. I don't have no deep voice myself. Fucking sound like a pubescent 12-year-old, but Jesus Christ, for a 29-year-old, but Jesus Christ. Kind of sound like he's on that Steve-O type voice. It's like, it's weird. Maybe it's from all the drugs. I don't know. It's weird. Drugs do that. Tons to alter things about yourself, so it could be that.
It's hard for me being that young and being in the industry and not knowing where to turn, and everyone, you know, telling me they love me and, you know, just turn their back on you in a second. So if she ever needs me, I'm gonna be here for her. But yeah, just protecting those moments because.
Send what, the video? Because I answered your question on that.
People take for granted encounters, and I just.
His voice? It must be the drugs. It has to be the drugs. There's no way he sounds like this. Or he's just upset. That's probably what it is. Maybe that's what it is. And maybe the mix of the drugs. But like, I don't think he sounds like this on a normal basis. There's no way. He didn't sound like this even when he was younger. He sounded quite young and to himself, but like, it must be the drugs.
I want to protect her.
Oh, I'm gonna send them all three. That's why I didn't send it yet. If you're talking about the artwork, I'm sending all three at once.
You know, I don't want her to go through anything I went through. I don't wish that upon anybody. Yeah, if she ever needs me, I'm just a call away.
Even at this time, people wondered to what specifically Bieber was referring, especially when he said he doesn't want anyone else to go through what he went through. With all of this in mind, it's really not all that surprising that people—
It sounds very weird. He has that Steve-O like voice, but then again, Steve-O was doing crazy drugs back in his day too, and a lot of it. I mean, a fucking lot of it. It was surprised that he survived the whole Jackass era Wild Boys thing, because I remember they said back in the day he would do a bunch of fucking narcotics. It was crazy. So like that's crazy. And remember, he didn't have Justin Bieber money. He had Jackass and Wild Boys money. And probably skateboard money. But like, that's not on the same level as like a Justin Bieber money. So
have started to make assumptions about the relationship between Sean Combs and Justin Bieber. I don't know what it is about this man, but I find him extremely creepy looking. Like, why are you here? Who invited you? He dead set looks like that weird neighbor who like wanders over to your house party and then stands in the corner of the room making all your female guests feel uncomfortable.
That's
well,
very specific. I don't know if that's is that a thing? Is that a thing? I don't know if that's a thing. Is that a thing? I don't know if that's a thing. It sounds like a thing. I don't think that's a thing. Sound like it could be. But if it is, I'm so uninformed.
Has never come out and explicitly confirmed any abuse. There still exists a lot of footage showing his uncomfortable interactions with Combs that have caused a whirlwind of speculation about what transpired between the pair. Such as this early video where Combs asks Bieber why they don't hang out like they used to. The teen suddenly becomes very nervous and can't articulate himself.
Starting to act different, huh? You ain't been calling me and hanging out the way we used to hang out.
Bro, I hate this. I fucking hate this when family members would do shit like this, bro. They will do stupid shit like this. Like, it'll be a stupid uncle that you don't really fuck with like that because you're older now. You don't talk to them like that. And you only talk to them at family gatherings and shit. And then it's like, oh, you acting a little different. You don't talk to me. Like, I'm fucking growing up! What the hell? What do you want me to do? Talk to you about what? You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit is stupid. That shit is dumb. I hated when adults did this. It'd be some family member, like an aunt or a fucking uncle. It's like, oh, I think girls can actually relate to this. It's like those dudes who you used to hang out with, but you don't hang out with anymore, because he's probably ugly to you now, and he'll act, where's my hug? You don't hug me.
LMAO.
Give me my hug. Where's my hug at? And the girl feels obligated to hug him now because he's asking and they put you on the spot.
I never talked to you rolling on the floor laughing.
Yes, they'll do that stupid shit. Like, and then they'll say, you know, I used to do your diapers when you was a baby. I'm like, great, motherfucker. That's a great, unfortunate event for you. For me, I don't remember and I don't want to know that. So even if you used to know me as a baby, I don't know you. And I'm grown as hell. Get the fuck out of my face. Like, what the hell? I hate it when they did that. And they'll make you feel bad for not knowing or getting to know them. You are a lonely individual to be doing that to a child. They do not want to fuck with you because a kid is doing their kid shit. Leave them the fuck alone. What the hell? I'll never do that to my nieces and nephews. Or I will never say, you don't talk to me anymore. Why don't you ever call up? Why don't you call me? Because they're growing the hell up and want to be with their friends or whatever the fuck they're doing, what kids do these days. What the hell? What conversation do I need to have with this grown-ass individual? What the fuck? Get out of my face. Shit. I don't care if you're my uncle or aunt. Fuck out of here. And grandma, too, sometimes. That's a little bit wavery. That's a little bit wavery when it comes to grandparents because they actually do genuinely want to know their grandchildren. But when it comes to aunts and uncles, they should be doing their own aunts and uncles fucking thing. Whenever it aligns with your nieces and nephews, that should only happen in situations of like family gatherings or like say like family gatherings, special events, special holiday time, or a case may be, or even if it's not a holiday thing or a special event, if they're just coming by from the house just to say hi, cool. But don't come over here and talk to this kid as if they have to have a conversation with you. No kid is obligated to talk to you just because we're related by blood. That's bullshit. I don't know you. I don't care for you because I'm doing my own damn thing. Trying to figure out this life just like you did. Imagine, and then they'll do the same thing that they didn't like happen to them. That's wild. And it's annoying as shit. I will never do that to my nieces and nephews. If they come up to me and say, Uncle Artextric, how are you? Or X, Y, and Z, I'm like, hey, bud. Hey, princess, how are you doing? Make small talk and let them go the fuck on. You shouldn't be holding a whole conversation that long. There's nothing this kid knows that you don't already know. Like, come on, it's not that serious. Let them be kids. No. But, like, let them be kids. Like, shit.
Well, I mean, you're...
Like, keep it really basic. How are you? how's school? You doing well? You're making friends? Simple shit. If they ask you anything beyond that, that's on them, and it's your obligation as an adult who cares about them to answer that question if it's appropriate. If it's something that goes beyond your pay grade as a aunt or uncle, that's when you say, I don't know, champ, or I don't know, princess, maybe you should talk to your daddy or your mom about that. That's above my pay grade as your uncle. How about that? You see? You keep it, you know what I'm saying? It's not that hard. Just tell them, hey, that's only you have to talk to your parents. That's not my jurisdiction. I'm sorry, I can't answer that. Sorry. But, hey, if you have any trouble, I'll let your mom and dad know, or something like that, well, if you need help. Boom! That's it! Nothing more.
I mean, you try to get in contact with me through all my, partners and whatnot, but you never really got my number, so.
Apparently, according to some people in the industry, and I read this a couple times, the reason why this interaction is so awkward is because some people in Justin's team were going to extreme lengths to keep him and Combs apart and not like let them interact.
Wow.
And obviously
for those who don't know what I'm talking about or wondering what I'm ranting about, come over here on YouTube Shorts. We're talking about the whole diddler coming after Justin Bieber. It's kind of funny, but yet it's sad. I'm not saying it's funny what's going on with Justin. That's not cool. And the way the industry treats him as a male, they wouldn't treat him the same as if he was a female, the way they treated him when he was young. If you want to hear this, if you don't care for this, so, just stay where you are. You don't have to come here. We're just doing a reaction. It might become a video. Not sure. Still debating on that because I usually focus on video games, animation, or anything that has to do with art, or anything video game related, or anything that has to do with just anime. But this is something I didn't want to talk about, but it ended up being that way because of curiosity of what I was listening to. I was not even going to do a reaction today, but you guys got me into it. So,
good reason, now we know. If that's true, I'm actually really, really glad that someone, or maybe multiple people, stepped up to the plate to actually try to protect this kid, who, just to remind you all, is still a kid. Beyond that, there are clips online that show Combs giving Bieber alcohol as a young boy, insinuating that they will get up to mischief together in a 48-hour period, and comments from his former staff.
What is he doing with this kid? That has to be 48 hours. What is it? Are you teaching him how to make music? That's what if that's what I'm hearing. I'm not saying that's what happened. I'm just saying that's what should be happening. If your manager or your I don't say supervisor, I don't even call it that. Your manager's supervisor, I guess, because I guess Diddy managed Usher and Usher manages Bieber, so it's like your super manager, I guess. But like if he's like your super manager, kind of, sort of, really, not really, shouldn't he be teaching you how to like do more, like how to market yourself, try to teach you how to make music, how to make more effective music that really falls for the times, or teach him like if things are changing, this is how you adapt to your audience? That makes sense. But when you say we're going out to do stuff, bro, that sounds weird. I don't like that. I don't like the fact that you're just gonna do stuff for the 15-year-old boy. You should be, if he's a superstar, you should teach him how to make some money. You should teach him how to sing better, how to market to his audience. That makes more sense. But when you say things like that, that sounds fucking weird.
That suggests Combs was exposing Bieber to inappropriate things and doing inappropriate things with him. Again, this is not super hard to believe given the mountain of evidence about Combs and his freak-off parties and the stories about him creating inappropriate tapes, passing around young men, and generally behaving depraved. I think it's important to remember as well that this was not the first time Combs had taken a young musician under his wing. Similarly to Bieber, the rapper Usher was discovered at the age of 13 and at around 14 or 15 went to live with Combs in New York. In 2016, during his—
How does that make sense? Where's your parents? Why would these parents let these kids— That doesn't make any sense, yo. Why would these parents allow their children to be Oh my god, bro.
His appearance on Howard Stern's radio show, Usher confirmed that he'd been exposed to some questionable things while living with Combs. I say questionable, but it's much worse than that. While he didn't go into detail, he described what he saw as wild and crazy.
Sending you
New
over
York
to something
City.
called Puffy Flavor Camp.
There you go.
To learn
Flavor Camp?
Yeah,
Flavor
that's what it
Camp.
was called. And you're going to go to Puff Daddy's. He's going
In the 90s, do you understand what that's like?
Puffy's place was like just filled with chicks and orgying like nonstop, right?
Nah, not really. I
Come
mean,
on.
but hey, it was curious. I got a chance to see some things.
Yeah, but
Okay, I'm under the impression that she put some type of voice filter over these things so she doesn't get copyrighted on the... I think that's what she did, because there's no way these people sound like this. There's no way that Usher sounds like this. And I heard Usher before. That's not how he sounds like. So she probably put a filter on this, because that sounds weird as hell. It sounds very nasally.
But you were 13. What were you
I
seeing?
went there to see the lifestyle,
Right.
And I saw it, and it was, but I don't know if I could indulge and understand what I was even looking at. It was pretty wild. It was,
So nobody tried to, some woman didn't come along.
I didn't say that.
Okay.
I didn't say that. What I did say is that there were very curious things taking place, and I didn't necessarily understand it.
Usher went on to say that if he had a son in a similar situation, he wouldn't allow his child to be exposed to the same things he was.
You're a dad now. Would you ever send your kid to Puffy Camp?
Hell no.
Ironically, Usher has described Justin Bieber as something of a son to him, and yet he is the very person who reportedly introduced Sean Combs to the pop star in the first place.
Yeah,
Almost like history was repeating itself. One person who has been extremely vocal about the interactions between Combs and Bieber is the R&B singer Jaguar Wright. I also read somewhere that she was Combs' assistant at one time, but I'm actually not sure how true that is, so, there's that. And it's also...
sorry, she comes off extremely disgruntled, but I don't think whatever she's saying is lying. I don't think she has nothing to lose, to be honest. Usually these women in
Ryaga
these
Samurai.
Hollywood situations...
With the quickness, LOL.
Yeah, with the quickness. I'm telling you, I don't think she's lying. She comes off extremely disgruntled. I'm not gonna lie, but then again, I don't think she's lying at all. I think she's telling the truth of all the things she's mentioned, kind of like what happened with Cat Williams. But I don't know.
Also worth noting that there are a lot of people who think she's just downright nuts, as she's made a lot of claims about other people, so, take what's being said here with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
Anyway, Wright has made several heavy...
She really comes off as extremely disgruntled. Like, I can't tell if what she's saying is just she's saying it for the camera, or I can't tell if she's saying it because it's true. But I don't think she has any reason to lie at the same time. Because she's right. I think she's kind of excommunicated out of the Hollywood industry. Because she has mentioned a lot of people. Hey-o. I think she's mentioned a lot of people before. So, like, if she says anything about Justin Bieber, I believe what she's saying is going to be somewhat true. Maybe a bit fabricated, but I believe it is true. But she does come off as disgruntled. Hun, if you want to come and watch the reaction, we're talking about the Justin Bieber victimization thing. So if you want to come over here and hear this, you can.
Allegations about Combs and Bieber's activities. One clip that has been circulating shows Bieber with Combs' industry friends Trey Songz and Odell Beckham Jr. Beyond it being extremely obvious that Bieber is high on some sort of substance here, it's really hard to tell what precisely is going on. Wright, however, said she believes that Bieber was performing an adult act on one of the men. In the video, she describes how his mouth is wet and how he's at a much lower level than the other two.
Wait, are you serious? Go back. Go back, go back, go back.
As she's made a lot of claims about other people, so, take what's being said here with a grain of salt. Anyway, Wright has made several heavy allegations about Combs and Bieber's activities. One clip that has been circulating shows Bieber with Combs' industry friends Trey Songz and Odell Beckham Jr. Beyond it being extremely obvious that Bieber is high on some sort of substance here, it's really hard to tell what precisely is going on. Wright, however, said she believes that Bieber...
Bro, she's not lying. He's at a lower level than he is. And I don't know if he was sitting or not, but... Bro. And he turned pretty fast. I don't know. What do you think, Bri? What do you think, champ? I want Bri's opinion on this. What do you think, bro? I don't know, man. Oh, poor Bieber. That is I don't know what to make out of that. I don't know what to make out of that.
Food with Mew. Hey yeah.
So like this is crazy.
And yet he is the very person who reportedly introduced Sean Combs to the pop star in the first
What's up?
place. Almost like history was repeating itself. One person who has been extremely vocal about the interactions between Combs and Bieber is the R&B singer Jaguar Wright. I also read somewhere that she was Combs' assistant at one time, but I'm actually not sure how true that is, so, you know, there's that. And it's also worth noting that there are a lot of people who think she's just downright nuts, as she's made a lot of claims about other people, so, you know, take what's being said here with a grain of salt. Okay. Anyway, Wright has made several heavy allegations about Combs and Bieber's activities. One clip that has been circulating shows Bieber with Combs' industry friends Trey Songz and Odell Beckham Jr.
Okay.
Beyond it being extremely obvious that Bieber is high on some sort of substance here, it's really hard to tell what precisely is going on. Wright, however, said
Bro, he was really low down there. What's going on down there?
Believes that Bieber was performing an adult act on one of the men. In the video, she describes how his mouth is wet and how he's at a much lower level than the other two, describing one of them as the lookout. Her implication here is that Bieber is acting at Combs' instruction. In another video, she comes down extremely hard on Usher for introducing Bieber to Combs in the first place, suggesting that Usher had experienced some horrific things and wanted to replace himself with another boy. That boy was Bieber.
Actually, someone made reference to the fact that Diddy trying to get at Bieber the way he was trying to get at Bieber was looking a little predatory. And then Usher came in and discovered it and managed him and got custody of him and promised to look after him. And then he sent him to the diddler.
I know it's not funny because of the nature of all of this, but describing Sean Combs like this makes him sound like a Batman villain.
And then he sent him to the...
It really does. It really, truly does. You can't take this shit serious to a certain... Like, you have to take it serious. It's not funny. But Jesus Christ, man.
The diddler.
I mean, I'm about it. The guy's a monster. Even if Jaguar Wright turns out to be a complete Looney Tune, at least she's unironically really funny. But the diddler just takes me out. So I guess that's...
You know what? We gotta stop calling him that. I'm sorry. We gotta stop calling him the diddler. I know it's funny and I get it, but like, we gotta stop calling him that. It makes it sound like it's not as serious as it should be. Because if this was any situation with like Harvey Weinstein, y'all will not, well, y'all probably still will make memes, but you won't call him the diddler or something. You just make a lot of memes. Or you just make a lot of conspiracy theories. That's it. But for some odd reason, when it comes to this situation, y'all call him the diddler like it's like she said, it's like a Batman. It's fucking funny, but it's disgusting. What is wrong with you people? Jesus Christ.
That's a silver lining here, maybe? Anyway, again, all of this is speculative, given that nobody has come forward to confirm anything. But regardless, what we do know definitively is that Justin Bieber was exposed to this lifestyle at a very young age, and all the chaos and drama and nonsense that went along with it. We know that a lot of that revolved around...
This is why you don't put your kids in these positions. This is why you don't try to get your kids to be famous at a very young age. You get them to be famous in their like late 20s or something. No, early 20s. In their 20s or so. I think that makes more sense.
Ryaga Samurai.
It just no.
Like a supervillain LMAO.
Yeah, it sounds like a joke. It literally sounds like a joke. I get it. I get the joke. I think it's funny too. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to be like hello. I'm not trying to be like a nagging Nancy, but like, come on,
drugs and alcohol, and you have to assume that some of that revolved around sex and inappropriate relations and whatnot, because again, if we're basing this off of the experiences of other young people in the acting industry particularly, I just really don't see why it's that big of a mental stretch to assume this has been happening in the music industry as well. Opportunistic, disgusting people are everywhere, so this wouldn't be shocking to me. I'll say here as well that there are a ton of additional allegations and accusations towards Sean Combs and Justin Bieber and his treatment, and I haven't included them in this video for two primary reasons. The first being, if I did, we would just, there's a lot of them and we would run out of time and this video would be 1,000 years long. But number two is because it's really hard to verify any of this information, and a lot of this information is not verified, it's speculative, and so I don't want to include things that are like too off base, if you know what I mean. I will say that the Sean Combs Diddy rabbit hole is incredibly deep and incredibly gross, and a lot of the lawsuits that have been filed against him do include references to household names and celebrities that most of us would probably know, and go into detail about the things that Sean Combs either did to them or the things that they did, and it's all it makes me lose hope in humanity a little bit. Ultimately, I think regardless of the legitimate criticism that can be thrown at Justin Bieber as an adult, and despite the group of people who will always view him through the lens of a spoiled pop star, it's very evident that he had a very, very challenging time as a teenager and was surrounded by all these people who caused him an enormous amount of pain and suffering. Just like how Hollywood failed so many child stars, the music industry failed Justin Bieber. And unfortunately, we're realizing all of this just a little bit too late. I'm sure as more information about Sean Combs comes to light,
I blame the parents. I blame the parents. I blame the parents. Like, okay, I understand that these people claim they was here to protect him, but the number one people who are supposed to look out for you is your family, especially your parents, your mom, your dad, and who the hell is your guardian. I blame them. I don't even blame Usher at this point. Like, I blame Usher. Don't get me wrong. I'm not excusing his bullshit that he put this boy in this position, but ultimately, for him to live with Usher, because I think that's what happened, for him to live with Usher, his mom had to sign away some form of rights for this boy to be over there with this grown man that she doesn't even know. Right? Nah. I blame the parents. To a certain degree. No, to a high degree. And I also blame the people who were supposed to take care of him, who claimed and who was supposed to look after him almost as much as the parents. Almost. But remember, these people are trying to make money. So no matter how much you may hate them, your parents are supposed to, or your family are supposed to be the ones that looks out for you, even if they're not being compensated. It kind of goes without saying in most cases, right? But the fact that this happened, and the fact we're learning about this now, is decades late now. Or the parents knew. Remember, he was doing a lot of drugs. It's not like you can't hide it. He was in the tabloids all the time. Back in like the late 2010s, I think. Yeah, I think late 2010s. So, what does that tell you? So.
Get a clearer picture, hopefully, about some of the goings on, not only with Justin Bieber, but with other people, or maybe, honestly, we'll never know at all. But what is clear, as of now, is that whatever Justin Bieber had to do or had to be exposed to in order to reach this level of fame certainly wasn't worth it.
This is why I would always go down an EDM route if you want to be famous. An EDM route can be I think the best thing you can do, because if you're the EDM type individual who wears a mask, you can always take off your mask and be normal. Right? Like Daft Punk. Daft Punk is only recognized based on the masks that they both wear. If they were to take off your mask, you would not recognize them at all. You wouldn't know who the fuck they are. Right? So that would be great. That's great. I think that's a great thing. I think this is why I think a lot of people was very into the Hannah Montana craze, because like, think of it being a celebrity and then taking off the wig. I think that's how it works. She used to wear a blonde wig or some shit, but she had brunette hair, and then she'll go to school normal. Makes sense to me.
And in the end, and on a positive note, it seems that he is prepared and willing to move forward and past his past. Now on that note, and before I open the floor to all of you, this is just a reminder, check out Fume using the link in the description. When you do and you use code Sydney, you'll get these cute little free toppers when you buy a journey pack. Now I open the floor to all of you. What do you all think? Are you of the opinion that Justin Bieber was exposed to a horrible bunch of things that we will probably never know about?
Yes.
Are you somebody who thinks, well, he's a pop star, this is kind of just par for the course?
No.
Do you feel bad for him? Do you
yes.
not feel bad for him? Do you think that this issue is being blown out of proportion?
No.
What do you make of the Sean Combs side of things with the very little that we discussed here? Is he a bad guy? Is he misunderstood? Is there something else going on behind the scenes that we probably don't know about?
But no,
and what do you generally make of this issue overall? As always, if you have made it this far in the video, congratulations. I always like having you along for.
Because like if we're gonna say something like that about Sean Combs, then we should say the same thing about Epstein. Think about it. If you're gonna try to give that same sympathy to Sean Combs, you should say that same sympathy to Harvey Weinstein. I mean, my bad. Your names. Like think of it. Think of it that way. You can't give props to people who do evil things. You can't, like, I understand that there are situations where people are put in conditions where they end up doing evil things because they had no choice. But when you're the one with power, the power dynamic changes once you're in power. So you can't say, you know, I'm doing evil things. No, that's not gonna work here. All right. With that said, I'm gonna end it from here. I was not gonna do any reaction. This is the only reaction. I still don't know if I'm gonna put this as a video because this is not something I would like to talk about or anything I wanted to talk about or even had plans of talking about because, you know, I focus on video game stuff, animation, art, all that great stuff. So, you know, it is what it is. It happens. But I don't know if I'm ever gonna do a video like this ever again because I don't like these type of topics because it brings too much, I think, pain and destruction, or it brings very weird sympathizers to the people who've done the bad thing, and I don't like those people. I don't like people who bring sympathizing to evil to people who does evil things to people blatantly. I don't think that's cool. You're just glorifying the idea that, or fetishizing the idea of someone it's okay for someone to hurt people. I don't think that's cool. I don't think that's okay. I think you're psychologically lost. You need help. So with that said, I'm jumping out of here, guys. Have a great night. Thank you for coming. For those who like this, please follow. Please follow me on YouTube and Twitch. Just those two things. I don't know if I'm going to be on tomorrow. We'll see.
Crazy, right?
There are a lot of sympathizers. It is crazy. Yeah, so I'll let you guys go. Have a great night. Thank you guys for coming. Thank you for following. Thank you for the likes. I don't know if I'm going to be on tomorrow since I don't stream every day like I used to anymore. If I do, I do.
Ryaga Samurai.
So.
Good night, everyone.
Alright, have a great night, guys. I'm out. Bye-bye.